I was thinking about the trip to Bexhill and the way in which, in a sort of spontaneous way, in order to get out of the rain and the rather miserable weather of the south-east coast of England, thinking that we might vanish into the pinball machine arcade and play a few pinball machines, a few flickers, and that by turning round and looking at this museum, this arcade, and choosing instead to look at the sea, and walking along the promenade a little bit, and turning round once again in this extremely dull weather, I was suddenly struck by the building that was in front of me. I now have my back to the sea, and I was talking with Susie, Uta's middle daughter, and we both discussed the design, the architectural design of the building, and the outer staircase, the external staircase, which is a spiral form encased in glass, suddenly came back to me as a memory from a photograph that I'd used and I knew very well, but hadn't really placed properly in my mind until that moment. And at that moment, I remembered that I have a photograph of Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, I think with Walter Gropius, standing on this staircase looking out to sea. When you look at the whole building, and I was explaining to Susie, probably quite unnecessarily, because I think she knew as much as I did really, but I was explaining, look, this is an asymmetric building, and obviously from the architectural style, it's actually, although it looks quite new at the moment because it has been refurbished or repainted and cleaned up, looking at the architectural style and then all the buildings around and in the background, especially the housing in the background at Bexhill on Sea, which is a seaside resort, usually associated with older people, not so much a young person's resort. So a little bit of a surprise that there was an amusement arcade there as well, not in the building I'm looking at, but next door to it. So I was explaining, look, this is partially symmetrical with the positioning of the external spiral staircase, but off to the left is a long side to the building, which has no windows in it on the upper levels, and on the right-hand side of the staircase there are, I think it was two floors of windows, and all in what we would probably call nowadays a modernist style, but the visual effect is that it's asymmetrical. I'm not quite sure actually if the staircase is a centre point, a pivot to this design, so I think I must get a ruler out and check that from the books that I have. But anyway, that's the implication.